Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me apologize for me not being able to go live at 7 o'clock. And I did share with some of you that I was going to go live, and unbeknownst to me, and yes, I should have looked into YouTube a little bit more before I decided to go live, but you have to have so many subscribers before you can even go live stream. So that's new to me. Now I know, and again, I apologize. But I want to get right to the point because my point tonight was going to be my topic tonight is accountability. And I know I hear a lot of people saying, you may have heard a lot of people say, you need accountability partners. And why that's true, I'm going to tell you why it could also be an excuse or a way to avoid holding yourself accountable. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you do have 10 accountability partners. If you're not holding yourself accountable, you're not taking responsibility. So, yes, I'm a firm believer in the power of two. I'm a firm believer that it takes that two is better than one, and that it takes a village, right? It takes a team to be able to help and support to help us to get to where we need to be. So tonight we're going to focus on accountability. Okay. So let me start with the question: how many of you feel stuck or stagnant? Maybe you're not stuck anymore, but you're stagnant. You're not progressing. You're not moving forward. How many of you feel stuck or stagnant? And I'm gonna give you time to just really think about that. And hopefully, with some of these with some of these videos, that you do grab a pen and a paper, and that you really take notes. Okay? Because I talk, I get to my point. You'll find in my videos, I don't wait for people to log on to come on or whatever. I just love to get right to the point and move forward. Okay? So answer that question. All right. Now, for me, I know that deep down inside that, and you may feel the same way, that you have more. There's more in you. More you want to do, more you want to accomplish, more you want to achieve. And I knew for me, deep down inside, that there was more. I like to kind of steer away from the term or the word greater, because it's going to always be somebody that's doing better, greater, more, and my competition is not with them, it's with myself. So I know deep down inside that there is more, and you may feel the same way, that there's more. There's more, that you want to accomplish, to achieve. Oh, and it's in you, but you feel stuck, you feel stagnant, you don't know where to begin. How many of you feel that? Because I felt that way. And up until now, 50 years old, and yes, let me repeat, 50 years old, I always knew that I wanted to do more. I always knew that what I needed to do was clear. But of course, like many of you, you probably had so many other things pulling on you. Probably was just ignoring, being stubborn, because you wanted to do what you wanted to do, right? And I've been there, okay? I'm not going to argue with that. But either way you go, whether you look at you being stuck or whether you being stagnant, guess what? I'm here to encourage you, to motivate you, and to push you to get unstuck, or to help you to progress, to move further. So I'm here to challenge you, ladies. That's why I'm here. So tonight we're going to look a little bit deep within us. Okay? And you need to to evaluate and examine where you are. Are you stuck or you stagnant? Okay? Mine is to try to help you get out of that rut and to move forward to where you need to be. Okay? So tonight I want us to evaluate our why. That's what we're going to start right there. We need to be able to evaluate our why. Why are we stuck? Why are we stagnant? Who or what? And I want you to answer these two critical questions, okay? Because tonight I'm going to give you 3 points. 3 points I want to give you. And it's 3 C's, okay? That's going to be your lesson tonight. I'm going to give you 3 points. But before I even give you those points, I want you to be able to answer these 2 questions. Who or what is a number one priority in your life? That's question number one. Number two is who or what demands most of your time? Who or what? Because you can have a priority, but guess what? If you have something that's demanding your time, that's going to take away from what your priority is because you feel that demand, you feel that pressure to respond to that demand first over the priority. So those are two questions. Who or what is your number one priority? And the second question is who or what demands most of your time? Okay, there is a difference, and that's not my point, so I don't want to go there. You need to be able to sit and answer these questions honestly. Think about it. Okay, and then we're going to move on. All right, so I said I want you to be able to identify that why, and once you answer those questions, you'll be able to understand. Okay, and then I'll make this clear. Okay, so now, is it television? Is it family? Is it life? Is it friends? Who is it? What is it? Is it the job constantly calling you to work overtime or whatever it may be? You need to be able to answer that because these are going to be critical in you understanding your why. Because here's what we do a lot of times, we don't put ourselves first. We don't think that what we got going on is a priority or as important. And here's the flip side of that. A lot of times we respond to those demands and those other priorities because it makes us feel validated. It makes us feel like we're needed. It makes us feel like we're special. So I need to be there for them. Right? And if that's your mentality, hopefully I can get you unstuck. Now I'm gonna start with the 3 C's. Okay, I told you I'm getting right to the point. So hopefully you have your notebook and a pen because you need to be able to jot this. You need to be able to write this. And yes, I do have my notes because I want to be able to stay on point. Okay. So number one point right now, you need to be able to choose you. You have to choose you. You have to. And then number two, you need to be able to commit to what your passion and what your desires are. And then number three, you need to create space in an environment and time, a timetable. You do of when you want to accomplish, to achieve all these things. You need to be able to do that. Now, let me just give you an example. What I mean, and I'm going to give you an example on all three of them. And I'm going to tell you why it's vitally important to do this. Okay? You have to choose you because if you do not choose you, everybody else is going to be a priority except for you. People will pull on you. People will tug, people will scream for you. People will shout that you be there. And guess what? And you're gonna run. If you never choose you, you're gonna run. Now, I'm not saying not to be there for people who are just as important, not to be there for mom or dad or grandmother or people, those key people that are important. But here's what we do a lot of times: we drop everything. And I'm telling you, I'm preaching to the choir because I'm that person. I was that person. And just in the last 2 weeks, I'm telling you, when I hit 50, I decided, you know what? I've spent half of my life being there for everybody else, doing for everybody else. I was setting back trying to create and trying to do things on my end, but guess what? I've allowed other things and people to become that priority. They needed to be first. Until I realized, I don't know if I had an epiphany or what, but I realized that if I continue on this track, if I continue on in this journey, and if I continue to do the same thing the same way all the time, I'm not going to get different results, right? So I decided, you know what? Let me scale back and let me really focus on. Let me choose me now. Let me do what I know what's in my heart to do. And that's going to be another subject or topic some other time, the passion and the desires of our heart. Those things. We'll talk about that. But you have to choose you. You have to. Because again, like I said, if you don't, you'll let everybody else and everything else be a priority. So choose you and do it unapologetically. You can do it unapologetically. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel bad. Maybe if you choose you once for once, guess what? Other people respect you enough to choose them and to follow their dreams and their passions. And so you see how that works. But if you're in that continual cycle of not doing anything different or going anywhere different or thinking anything different, it's that same old pattern. You'll never be able to. Here's the stuck and here's the stagnant pattern. Same thing over and over and over again. Right? Do it differently. Choose you. You have to this time. Get to where you need to be, and then you can reach back and get those people that need you. Okay? And then the commitment. You have to make that commitment to choosing you and to follow your dreams and to follow your to pursue your goals and to achieve more, the more that is in you. You have to make that commitment. Because again, not to make a commitment, you've already committed to stay stuck and to stay stagnant. So make a commitment. And yes, it's going to require discipline. Yes, it's going to require you coming out of your comfort zone. It's going to require all of that. But you have to make that commitment. Here's my commitment tonight. And I told you I would give you an example. Number one, my first example was, okay, I've already chosen me. I've set some limits and some boundaries and things in place for me to just say, this is what Caroline has to do, right? In order to get to where I need to be. Because how many of you really want to leave a legacy? How many of you really want to do something grand for your family, for your children? So we are not, just spending the rest of our years just getting by. Okay? And not everybody wants to do that. But here's the thing. I'm talking to those who really want to progress, who wants to go forward, who has some goals and some dreams and some desires in them that they just feel like just stuck and stagnant. Because I don't know, we got to break the box. We got to break ourselves out of the box and out of the grips and locks of, everybody else pulling us and tugging us, right? So make that commitment. Because not to make it, you've already committed to stay stuck and stagnant, okay? And then create. You need to be able to create space, create time, create an atmosphere to where you can be creative. You can't do that taking care of everybody else's business, doing everything everybody else want you to do, responding to everything somebody else says or demands you to do, right? That's okay. Scale back. Yes, you're going to make some people mad. Some people are going to be very upset. You're going to lose some friends. You may lose some family members, right? And if you lose those people, then guess what? They're just not worthy of your time. They're not worthy to be in your space. They're not. And I know you may say, oh, this is harsh. This is not. No, it's not. Because when are you going to choose you? When are you going to do the more that's in you? When are you going to be the person that you want to be? Okay? And especially I'm talking to you who have children and grandchildren. I'm a grandmother. I definitely want to leave an inheritance. I want to leave a legacy. I want to be able to build generational wealth for my children and grandchildren. These are things that I desire, and I could only pray that God allows me to be able to do that. But guess what? If we hold ourselves back, or if we don't do the things that we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in as well, guess what? You're holding yourself back. People cannot make you do anything. It's what we allow. People only do what we allow them to do. So if they're taking up all of our time, we allowing that. If they're demanding more of us, we are allowing that. Okay? So we need to be able to get unstuck. Let's move forward. Let's do some great things. Okay? And those are my 3 points. And I hope that you've answered the questions honestly. I hope you've identified your why, even if you have to replay this again and journal and write this out and take time with yourself. But I hope you've discovered that. What is your why? What's holding you back? Who's holding you back? And if you really get to the root of what it is, you should point to yourself, because it's people do what we allow them to do, right? So let's move forward. Choose you. Commit to your dreams and your passions and goals now. And then create, 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 ladies and gents, if you're on here. Thank you.